Yesterday, while I was scrolling in YouTube, I saw a video named Beatcraft, and it was saying what if Minecraft was a rhythm game and showing that. And I really loved the idea. I mean, the content wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but still, that gave me an idea. What if we make a Beat Saber game with Minecraft themes and special gameplay? In this video, that's exactly what we will do. So basically, to make that happen, we have to complete 3 steps. First, create a basic gameplay, make the game look better, and finally, make some final touches and release the game. The main problem with a game like Beat Saber is the slicing system itself, because slicing objects are actually way more complicated than it looks. And a lot of game studios use some illusions here instead of actually slicing the object. For example, let's look at one of the biggest examples of slicing themed games. I mean, sure, you can slice objects in Fruit Ninja, right? Because if you look closely, even if you cut from the last pixel of the object, the fruit always splits exactly in half. The reason is you're not actually cutting the object at all. Instead, the game just plays one of the pre-made animations whenever you try to slice an object. I mean, sure, Fruit Ninja is a game designed for kids to play, and seeing an object sliced from the very edge instead of the middle, that doesn't really look that satisfying. And basically, no one wants to see their imperfections. Except we do, because we have to keep track of the perfect slices. Also, since we can slice multiple objects in the game, we need a system that can support all these different models. Well, the main problem with slicing 3D objects lies in the very basics of 3D mechanics. Computers build these objects by stitching together tons of tiny triangles and just painting the surface. So even though they look solid, there is nothing inside, they are completely hollow. So if you actually slice an object in two, you're left with 2 empty shells, just like an empty box. So isn't there a way to fix this? Of course there is. The moment the blade hits the object, we trigger a process called retriangulation, and basically seal the cut by generating new triangles within the slice line and painting them with a different color. That makes the cut look seamless. I mean, coding a system like that from scratch shouldn't be too hard, right? Luckily, a guy named David Ryan released an open source library called Easy Slice back in the day. Thanks to his library and just a few lines of code, we'll solve the problem without drowning in the technical issues. Honestly, isn't it just beautiful? Then I started adding the core mechanics like swingable sabers. Well, right now the system is nothing more than just 2 sticks moving up or down. After that, I added a health system and a game over screen that pops up when your health hits 0. Also, I wrote myself a basic level designer so I can easily add different songs to the game in the future. And then I added a main menu scene followed by a song selection scene where we can browse and pick different tracks. And yeah, the basics of the game are ready. Now it's time for level 2, making it look better. First, I started by adding juicy visual effects and sound effects to the game. Then I replaced those placeholder boxes with actual lightsabers. I also made the lightsaber swing instead of just moving up and down. After that, I replaced that boring single color background with a screenshot taken straight from Minecraft to give the game a much better look. Then I added mobs in the background to watch us while we play. Finally, I changed the short notes into red and blue target blocks and replaced the long ones with Minecraft blocks. So now it really looks and feels like you're chopping down a tree. Then I added a counter made out of 3 stars to show exactly your process through entire song. And if you manage to somehow finish the entire song, these stars reset, the game speeds up, and golden crowns appear instead of stars. And if you manage to complete this level as well, you start earning netherite crowns instead of the gold ones. Once you beat the game in this extra fast version, only then you have truly completed the song. Later on, I added indicators to the song selection scene, so you can see how many crowns you earned for each song. But there's a slight issue with these netherite levels. When the game goes over a certain speed, the boxes start clipping into each other and the level design starts falling apart. And once I fixed that, another problem showed up. Honestly, I can't say for sure it's even possible to beat these new levels at all, because personally I couldn't do it. I mean, obviously I don't think you can beat my high score in my own game, but at the end of the video you can try yourself. But first, to make that happen, the game needs to be published, which brings us to the final stage, polishing and releasing. I started this part by adding different songs and changing their difficulties. Then I added backgrounds for different maps, adjusted the lighting levels and added new mobs to watch over us. But right now there is a huge problem in our game. It's known as ghost slicing. Basically, right now you can get full points by just holding your saber in the middle of the screen. I found plenty of ways to fix this, but the simplest solution works like this. The game basically checks the speed of the saber the exact moment it hits an object. If the speed is high enough, it instantly slices through. However, if the movement is too slow, it counts as a miss. By the way, this doesn't apply to long notes since you already have to hold steady. Nice, that's fixed too. Then I started adding small details to improve the quality of the game. A pause menu that opens when you press escape, a small tutorial screen showing the controls the very first time you launch the game, and after adding new sound effects and minor improvements, the game was ready to be published. First, I made a WebGL build to play the game on browsers, then set up an itch.io page with all the files and details. After a quick page design, I made the game playable on both PC and mobile. On the PC side, you play by using WS and OL keys, while on the mobile side, it is controlled simply by touch. With that sorted out, the game was finally ready to play. If you want to try it, I'm leaving the link down in the description. And yeah, keep in mind that this is just the alpha version of the game, which means there is still so much more we can add to improve it. If you guys are interested, we can use your ideas in the comment section for a part 2 and polish the game even more. And finally, don't forget to like this video for a part 2.